Hello everyone, this is Evan from BlazikenTCG, and I just got back from the North America Internationals a couple days ago, and I decided I would do a tournament report. I did decide to play Gardevoir, and I was a bit disappointed in my result. I got top 64, but I was really going for a top 8. I wanted to get one more top 8 before I age up into Masters, so now my last chance is going to be at Worlds, so let's hope for the best. But anyways, let's get right into the tournament report. So I did decide to play Gardevoir, and here is the list that I played. So a few notable cards. We're obviously playing the 4-4-2 Gardevoir line, Screamtail, just one Drifloon. I had two in there until like the day before the event, and I originally had two Drifloons and then only one Nest Ball, but I cut a Drifloon for another Nest Ball. So we're playing just one Drifloon, and it felt fine. I think you only really need one Drifloon. I think 2 is a bit overkill because you have 2 Super Odds as well in case you do have to use it multiple times a game. Instead of playing Fluttermane, I actually played the Klefki because I felt like Klefki was a lot better than Fluttermane for a few reasons. So if you're against Miraidon and Bolt, those are both matchups that you want to be going second into. However, if you do have to go first, you can push Klefki and it basically just slows down their entire deck. Klefki is actually probably your best chance at beating Miraidon, because that is one of the deck's hardest matchups, because if they can just get turn 1 hands on you, then you basically scoop. But Klefki makes it so that most of the time they don't actually get the turn 1 hands. It can slow down their deck enough for you to actually be able to set up, which is very nice. I played Cresselia, very helpful against like Mirrors and Zard and Dragapult and stuff like that. One Munkidori because the card's broken, and I did decide to play the Greninja and Manaphy. I know the Japan list did not play those, but I think they are way too good to not play. We're playing 4 Arvins, 3 Ionos. I did decide to cut down an Iono. I had 4 up until the night before, and then I switched to 3 Ionos and switched out the 4th one for a Palpad. Playing Double Turo. I think that you have to play Double Turo in Gardevoir. I think that Double Turo is really good right now. And then 1 Bulbasaur, 4 Buddy Poffin, 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Nest Ball. Really the thing that I tried to prioritize the most with this list was just consistency. So that's why I just have so many more consistency cards than tech cards, because I just wanted to set up as much as possible. And it really paid off because I didn't have a single game where I just full bricked and couldn't do anything. So I think that's definitely the best way to build Gardevoir right now, just consistency over techs. Then we have 2 Super Rod, 2 Counter Catcher, 2 Vessel. I decided to play the second one, even though some lists I saw only played 1. I think the second one is very good as a consistency card. 1 Enhanced Hammer, which was kind of one of the few techs in this deck. You have to play Enhanced Hammer or Temple of Sinnoh to have a chance against Lugia. And I felt like Enhanced Hammer was the better one because it was Arvin searchable, and also it opens up a very cool play where you can enhance away the Legacy from the Iron Hands, and then Screamtail and Archeops. We have Palpad, Hisui and Heavy Ball, Unfair Stamp, which I think is the better ace spec in Guardy. We have 2 Bravery Charms, 2 TM Evos, double Artisan, and I played 8 Psychic and only 1 Darkness Energy. I would have liked to have had a second Darkness Energy, but I could not actually find room in the list for the second one. And honestly, 1 felt fine. There were a few times where I whiffed Munkidori because of only having 1, but overall I think the 1 was pretty alright. So now let's get into the matchups. So round 1 we played against Raging Bolt that did not play Jamming Tower or Lost Vacuum, so it was a very favored matchup. Game 1 I won pretty easily because, like I said, no Vacuum, no Jamming Tower, so the matchup was very favored. I can just trade into their 2 prizers with Drifloon and Screamtail and win pretty much every time, unless I just brick. So a quick 2-0 there. Well, not quite quick, it took the whole 50 minutes, but 2-0. Round 2, I hit probably my worst matchup in the room, Lugia with Roseanne's backup and Jamming Tower. So, as you can see from my list, I did not play Temple of Sinnoh. My game plan against Lugia is to just Enhanced Hammer the Legacy Energy off Iron Hands and Screamtail and Archeops. And if I can pull that off, I win just about every time unless they have the Roseanne's backup. And game 1, I went Unfair Stamp, enhanced the Legacy, and then Screamtail and Archeops. So I basically hit exactly what I needed, but he found Luminion for Roseanne off the Unfair Stamp. So he was able to attack with the Iron Hands once again. So I still was almost able to win that, but I had to go, later on I had to go Iono to 2 and hope he did not find Boss's Orders. And if he whiffed it, I win the game, and he found it. So I lost game 1. And in game 2, he prized 3 Archeops. So I was wondering why he... So he had the 1 Archeops in hand, he used Mesagoza, flipped heads, he got a Lugia V out, and then researched, and then he used Summoning Star for 1 Archeops, and I was wondering why he did that, but he told me after the game that he prized 3 Archeops, so that was really unfortunate, but we went into time right at the start of game 3 and just decided that it was a tie because we were both at 6 prizes. So I was pretty happy overall to get a tie out of that game because that was a really unfavored matchup with the Jamming Tower and Roseanne. So I was pretty proud to have gotten a tie from that, even though it did take him prizing 3 Archeops. So I'm 101 at this point. I have to go 6-2-1 to make day 2. Round 3, I hit Lost Zone Dragapult. Game 1, he started, I think, Dreepy. He went first, started Dreepy, benched Sableye, used Switch, and passed. And then I was able to set up my board, and he was able to come back. And the game was actually pretty close, but in the end, I was able to stick in Iono and make him whiff an attack, which got me game 1. And then game 2, he started Manaphy and just went draw pass. So pretty much just bricked game 2, and I was able to win that set 2-0. It was actually a lot scarier than I thought it would be, considering his poor start both games. So, yeah, but I was able to win 2-0. Then round 4 I hit Joseph, and this was a Guardian Mirror, and game 1 I won the flip, and I actually opted to go second. I feel like going second is optimal in the Guardian Mirror, because you get to use Arven for Puffin and TM Evo first, and then you get to... Basically, you just get to use TM Evo first and get your Curlias out before them, which I think is really good in the matchup. So I went second and whiffed TM Evo, and that was pretty much it. He got his Curlias out first, and then I was able to get all my Curlias out the next turn, but whiffing the TM Evo really hurt, and the game was still pretty close. I would have won after, I think, one more turn, if I had just one more turn, but I did not, unfortunately. I think he found boss for game, which he needed, if I'm not mistaken. And then game 2, there were like 15 minutes left, so there just wasn't enough time for game 2. We went to time during game 2. So I lost round 4 in the Guardian Mirror. I'm 2-1 right now. I'm not feeling great about my chances at this point. I have to go 4-1 to make day 2. So round 5, I hit Matthew, and he was playing Block. Block, I felt, was a pretty even matchup, because how I play the matchup is I just go like Guardy, Routes, Klefki, Drifloon, and then if I have all my energies, then I win the matchup every time because there is nothing to trap. If they bring up the Routes, I can just Teleportation Burst, and if they bring up the Klefki, I just retreat out of it, and then I use Gardevoir and Drifloon as the attackers. So if I can get that set up going, then I think I win the matchup just about every time. However, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, which we'll get to a little bit later. But I was able to get that perfect board setup game 1. And then game 2, I actually prized double Gardevoir, which normally would just be like an auto loss because I have no way to attack. But there were like 9 minutes left or something going into game 2. So I was able to just go to time and win that set. So I was able to beat Block. I am 3-1-1 at this point. Then round 6, I hit Lucas. It was a Guardian Mirror, and I went, I believe, second. Yeah, I went second game 1, and yeah, I went second and got the Kirlias out. He whiffed Kirlia the next turn. Well, I think he only got like one Kirlia the next turn, so I was able to Cresselia it. And basically I just got like really far ahead. So for just about the whole game, I knew that I was going to win. And I think he played out game 1 a little bit too long, because game 1 took about 40 minutes, or 35 I'd say, about 35 minutes. And then game 2, we both had a pretty slow setup, but we were able to go to time during game 2, which that's kind of one of the things I don't like much about Guardian Mirrors. Pretty much whoever wins the first game wins. It's pretty much just best of 1 in the Guardian Mirror, because if you win the first game, you're able to just kind of wait for time to be called, which, I mean, I don't really like that too much, but I guess it is how it is. Round 7, I hit Justin Templar. He was playing the Lost Box with Iron Thorns that a lot of the top seniors were playing. And game 1, I had to pick... So I had a very weak board setup game 1. I think I had like Greninja in the active spot. I had a Kirlia, Routes, and that was it. So I was able to pick between... No, I had Routes in the active spot, Kirlia on the bench, and Routes on the bench. And I had like one Ultra Ball, and that was it. So I was able to pick between getting a second Kirlia or getting a Manaphy down. I went for the second Kirlia because he had like 3 in the low zone. I figured it was less likely for him to be able to hit the Greninja play than Prime Catcher Cramorant, or Sableye. So I went for the second Kirlia, did not draw the Manaphy, so I just had to pass here. And then I got punished. He was able to get the 7 in the lost zone and double gate up to charge up Greninja and kill both of my Kirlias, and I scooped. Game 2, he took 4 mulligans. I went first, by the way, to try and push Klefki and slow him down enough, because I felt like if I went second, since he was playing like a very turbo build of Lost Box, if I went second, I would just get too far behind, so I had to go first. He took 4 mulligans, but I still had a pretty dead hand. I had Cresselia in the active spot, and then my only Pokemon search was 1 Artisan, and then I had an Energy. So I could go for a Route. I felt like if I did that, I'd pretty much lose, so I went for Klefki and retreated into Klefki to slow him down enough. I was able to get my Kirlia set up the next turn, but basically he was able to find Prime Catcher before I was able to set up fully. So I feel like I just didn't really set up that very well either game this set, which was unfortunate, because I feel like that Lost Box deck should be a favored matchup if I do set up, but both games I kind of just didn't really set up. He was just able to do Lost Box things and just run over me before I was actually able to set up my board. So at this point, I'm 4-2-1. I have to win my next 2 to make day 2. Round 8, I hit Parker, and he was playing Block, which should be, like I said, even maybe a favored matchup, but game 1, I prized Turo, and I prized 2 energies. And then he hit Monkey Dory off his first flute, which is not a Pokemon that I want to have out. It can get trapped very easily. And then his first Misfortune Sisters, like turn 2 or 3, hit my Pal Pad. So I had to use the Turo to pick up Monkey Dory, and basically set up my board of Gardevoir, Routes, Klefki, and Drifloon. But I had 2 energies in the discard. I was able to draw 1 of them off the prizes, or 2 energies in the prizes, I'm sorry, not in the discard, 2 energies in the prizes. I was able to draw 1 off of the prizes, but the other one I couldn't draw, so he just kept gusting up the Routes and then the Drifloon as well, until I had to put all my energies on the board, then trapped the Klefki, and I had no energies left, because I have to have all my energies for that strategy to work. And then my other Turo was also prized. I had used a Turo, and then he had discarded the Pal Pad. So I feel like he kind of just got lucky. Well, like, he played well, but I feel like he also got kind of lucky because he hit the Monkey Dory off the first flute, hit the Pal Pad off the first Misfortune Sisters, and then I prized too many resources to win. And then game 2, there were like 15 minutes left, So if I play slow, I lose. So I just played as fast as I could, and instead of trying to set up the checkmate board state, I just started trying to take prizes as fast as possible with Gardevoir. Also, I didn't mention he hit Palpad off the first Misfortune Sisters again, and I prized 3 energies. So I couldn't go for the checkmate game 2, and there were only 15 minutes left. I just had to set up Gardevoir quickly and start taking prizes. I was probably misplaying some, but that's okay because if I play slow, I lose anyways, so I just had to play as fast as possible and hope I don't misplay. And then time was called, unfortunately, and I still had 3 prizes. So that took me out of day 2. I am now, what, 4-3-1? Yeah, 4-3-1. It took me out of game 2. Or day 2, I mean. So I'm 4-3-1. I'm pretty tilted about that because I felt like that was a matchup I would have been able to win if he hadn't have hit like the if basically I feel like I basically lost like RNG that game, which was really unfortunate. Then round 9 I played against another one of those Turbo Lost Box decks with Iron Thorns. Game 1 he had game in hand but threw, so I won. Game 2, I lost because I feel like I kind of bricked, I don't remember. And then, I don't really want to go too into detail of what happened, but to make a long story short, I got the win that game, which put me at 5-3-1. I got 48th place, so I got I don't remember exactly how many points. I got 130 CP, so I'm now at 670 out of 450. The CP didn't really matter for me, though, because even if I was able to win the whole event, I don't think I would have been in top 16 for North America. So the CP didn't really matter. I was mostly just playing for, like, cash and packs and stuff, but I did get one temporal, or, yeah, I got one booster box. And it's not Temporal Forces, I don't think. I think I just put the wrong set, but it's the new set. Can't remember what it's called. Twilight Masquerade. I just put the wrong thing here. I'm gonna have to edit that later. But, yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. That was my NAIC run. I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat that I was in Orlando. In Orlando, I felt like I played Pidgeot Control in Orlando, and I feel like I played the deck pretty well, but the games that I lost, I don't really think there was anything I could have done differently. Like, the tie, that was a bad matchup, and I got lucky to get the tie. Then, in the loss, I don't think I really could have done anything differently. I was kind of in the game the whole time, game 1, so I guess I could have scooped game 1 and played for a tie, but since I was in the game the whole game, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play for the win. But I ended up losing due to time. I just didn't really set up against Lost Box, and then I feel like I just kind of lost to RNG against Block. So I feel like I couldn't have really done anything differently to make those losses wins. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to try again at Worlds, and hopefully I'll do better. I've already started my Worlds testing, kind of. I need to start grinding for Worlds. I prepared quite a bit for NAIC, so I played like 20 hours of games before the event, the week before the event, but I'm going to have to play maybe even more, because Worlds I really want to do well. But anyways, thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.